Heidi ho, Heidi ho. So, the message for today. um, I'm constantly reminded of how we have been beguiled by the Yetzirah, the evil inclination, the reptilian mind, the Satan. So the Satan is attached to each and every one of us. So those that follow me know, Kili Kol Ha'aretz is always on the front lid of my mind. Loving my Ima Abba with all my heart. So the seven utterances is a key. So everything else is a test. So in a way it does matter what our brother says, but in a way it doesn't. So I get a lot of people that try to communicate with me, and the very first thing they say is, "Where are you from?" So I figured I'd put another video up. I believe I may have pulled the old one down, because I don't leave videos up forever. So anyway, where are you from? Well, I'm from Adama, and I'll return to the Adama. I live on Adama, in Adama, but I also live outside of Adama. I am on Ha'aretz, all the earth. So, all the earth is mine, says our Ima Abba. Kili Kol Ha'aretz. Reminds me of the sneetches, Dr. Seuss, the sneetches. Story that I learned as a young lad during this life. Not to say that this is the only life I've lived, but during this life I learned the story about Dr. Seuss and the sneetches. Stars on Nars. Probably some of us could benefit from watching that. So anyway, this is going to be a little bit of a long video, and the rest of it you can see on YouTube. Anyway, names are a good thing, but they can also be a bad thing. So naming the land, claiming ownership of the land. Kili Kol Ha'aretz, it's all one big farm. Tribalism could be a good thing or a bad thing. So it's when we create segregation and separation. We want to be like the sneetches, have different names of land. So I'm better than you because I've got 2 stars on mine and you've only got 1 star on yours. That type of philosophy and mentality is a tribalism of separation. Whereas tribalism of Kili Kol Ha'aretz, all the earth is mine and it's all one big farm. That brings us together. So Yosef's coat of many colors. Well, in the beginning we were covered with order, these bodies, or as some people know it, or carbon-based life form, or. So we are covered with these bodies. We are in an open-air prison, so we're dead. Um, we became dead in the beginning, and we were supposed to rule over the beasts of the field, not become the beasts of the field. So we were all born in a manger, which is this open-air prison that we live in. The fact that it's an open-air prison is easily seen when you realize not only is Kili Kol Ha'aretz, all the earth is mine, but all of creation is our Ima Abbas. So Kili Kol Ha'alam, which is the universe, all the earth is our Ima Abbas, but also all the universe is our Ima Abbas. So anyway, we create the separation and segregation by believing we're from a specific tribe. But like Martin Luther King said, content of character, and I say by the spirit of my brother or sister within the temple, not the temple itself. So how do we view one another? So you sold yourself to the creditor. The whole book is a test, and when you understand that, you're also told you sold yourself to the creditor. So right now we're going through a section where it's telling us that we're allowed to lend to other nations. So that's evidence that the whole book is a test. because we're also told that we sold ourselves to the creditor. So in what way did we sell ourselves to the creditor? Well, that would be by us believing that we can be the creditor. So that's creating separation and segregation of what belongs to our Imam, Hashem, Allah, the All, or whatever name you want to attribute to what I know as my Imam. So that is how we sell ourselves to the creditor, by believing that we can be the creditor, being greedy for gain. My. So if you claim it to be yours, you can be in possession of something, but it still doesn't belong to you. It belongs to our Imam. We're caretakers of it. So naming the land. Well, yeah, I can name it all as Ha'adets and recognize it all as one big farm, and realize that the sparks of Israel, Yisrael, my brothers and sisters, are in every nation, every tone. So I can't make a declaration saying this is not a part of my tribe until I know the content of character. So grid point location is all I use. That's all I need. I can find you underneath a rock on the side of a mountain if I have your grid point location. I don't need a name. I know that for a fact because that's how I used to get places during this life. Couple different ways with when I was exchanging my labor with different people. That's how I would find where I had to go, was a grid point location. Give me a grid point location. I didn't need a single name. It was just a grid point location. That's all we really need. We don't need addresses unless you're talking about the address of the body you live in. Well, that was given an address, a nomenclature. So my address during this life is Corinne, Kufresh Noon. But in the beginning, I am Adam, one divine spark of Adam. In the end, I'll return to Adamah, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It means I'll be connected to all things. When we recognize that, when we give everything back up to our Ima'ava, both mother and father, Malach Maha, king and queen, not just a king. At that point, when we realize the divine sparks are all around the world. So Japan and China and Korea and America and Canada and Russia and, the Philippines, having all the different names is separation and segregation. It's not needed. So tribalism can be a good thing or a bad thing. Tribalism, when the tribe becomes smaller and smaller, then you're outnumbered. The larger the tribe becomes, the less outnumbered you are. So if I see Yisrael as being the whole world, then I am many. When I see myself as being a part of the few, at the same time I can be Yisrael. But I'm going after what my own heart, greedy for gain. Oh, if I consider myself this tribe, then this tribe that says I'm allowed to lend and borrow at interest to everybody. Well, at the same time, only the Mashiach knows who Yisrael is. So these are all just things that go through my mind. I try very hard not to claim names. And the reason why is because I view that as wickedness. It is tribalism, but it's the separation of what is a Had, one. We are all a portion of our Imam, every single one of us. None of us is any more divine than the other. Granted, some of us may have knowledge and wisdom, but we're supposed to use that knowledge and wisdom to help our brothers, not to hinder their growth or to enslave them. Kili kol ha'aretz, all the earth is mine. But we're supposed to also love our Imam with all our heart and soul. So those are all keys, and we're told we're going to be tested. And we are being tested. Every day, every second, every hour, we're tested. And the question is whether or not we're going to pass the test. Are we going to be like the sneetches and lend and borrow to our brothers at interest and enslave them and cause them to have wars? Or are we all going to come together and stop recognizing this one has 3 stars, that one has 1, that one has none? That's a message for today. God bless. Much love.